What do you think, man? I should make the tutorial about how to use the Spellstone and the wand macro. I don't really like to give out, my macros out sometimes, but I feel that if I was a new warlock, I will appreciate someone giving out good macros. Alright, we're gonna do it. I need a spot where I can fight mobs without being interrupted. Ah, fuck it, I'll do it here. So, the way the macro works is... if you don't have a spellstone, let's say you're just buffing up for arena, nothing equipped. I actually have to destroy it. Alright, so if you have no spellstone, this is the macro right here. Actually, no, the macro is you create a spellstone. I have a create stone macro, but this is not in here. So if you create a spellstone, let's say you created a spellstone, you have it in your bags. The macro is this one right here. So if you hit this one right here, it's a keybind, but I don't want to click it, but it's a keybind. So there you go. I'm hitting it right now. It equipped the spellstone. So now it's equipped, right? So the way it works is, and obviously I can't test it without a dot, so I'm gonna lifetap. It's a healing macro. And what I'm gonna spam it, so 1, 2, and then if this was ready and I had dots, it will remove the dots. So that's the use on the macro, right? And the macro goes back to the cast sequence, which is the Healthstone use. So you don't have to like wait or get stuck on the spellstone. It went back. So now the macro is ready to use as long as my Healthstone is ready to use. So right now the Healthstone is on cooldown. And I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna go back in combat and this is gonna change to a Healthstone. See, Healthstone. So I can't use it because the Healthstone, obviously it's on cooldown. But it doesn't affect your spellstone because the spellstone is a 3-minute cooldown. I'm gonna kill this and then I'll let. Let's say the spellstone is on cooldown right now, and you want to use the shoot ability. So this is my shoot ability right here. See? I didn't have to click anything to change my wand. The macro did it for me. I want to equip my spellstone back. I hit this right here. I'm not gonna click it because it's keybound, so I hit it and it switched my spellstone back. I want to shoot again. I use this one. I want my spellstone back. I hit this one. Right here. So keep an eye. And the macro, the two macros right here, I only have two macros to switch back and forth. The first macro is my life tap macro. So what it does is modifier control, and it drains mana. So if I hit modifier control, if I'm holding it, it's life drain, it's draining mana. If I just do it by itself and I have no modifier, he life steps. Or she life steps. If I hit alt, she wands, or she shoots. So that's my mana macro. Now the other one, this is my healing macro. So if I spam it, I use the Healthstone, Shadow Word, and then strip my debuffs with the Spellstone. Obviously, it was on cooldown because I was just shooting. So you have to give it time, or don't shoot when you have. Don't shoot when you have a spellstone and you have debuffs, because you want to use it obviously. So you don't want to shoot because that's going to unequip your spellstone. But after you use your spellstone, you can shoot without having to worry about having to get it back. And the shoot macro is this one right here. This is a convoluted macro. It's my Holyshit macro. So what it does is, if I hit it by itself and I'm mousing over a friendly target, so let's say I want to buff up my arena partners, I mouse over them and I spam it. So notice how this changes. Mouse over. 1, 2, 3, and this question mark, that's imp buff. So if I had an imp, I will be applying the imp buff, and then it resets back to the beginning, and then I can mouse over the next person. 1, 2, 3, and you don't have to do the fill armor because the imp will immediately do fire. The imp is always trying to do fire shield. So if you look at here, right here, fire shield. So even if you don't have to finish it with the fill armor, so the imp will always do fire shield, fire shield. And that's just off combat, and you mouse over people or yourself. That's the buff part. If you hit Alt and you hit it, you will do any buff you have. So in my case, it's Soul Link. You can change this for whatever buff you want to use, preferably a buffs, because this is, like I said, the buff macro / healing macro. If you hit Control and you spam it, this is the Void Sack macro. So I'm gonna hold Control and spam it. Oh, hold on. Hold Control. Sorry. Hold Control and spam it. There you go. Now, the best part, and this is the part that this is the reason why I like it, is that you can never accidentally hit your cooldowns, your holy shit cooldowns, by accident. See, right now I'm spamming it. Right now, nothing happens unless, like, it's not popping any healthstones or shadow word, nothing. Like, that's one thing. If I hit Alt, is Soul Link or whatever other buff, and if I hit Control, is the Fel Dom macro. Now, in combat, it uses your cooldown, which is your Healthstone, your Shadow Word, and a potion if you add one. So, I'm getting combat. See, right now, this is the healing macro. It only works in combat. So, in combat, it will use, if you spam it, Healthstone, Shadow Word, and then remove your debuffs with the Spellstone. And that's just one macro right here. And this is one way that I use the Spellstone, the wand, and the Spellstone, the wand, healing macro. I mean, it's, if you don't use modifiers, I can see you having a hard time, but if you use mods, these are my babies.